health scare, health issue, problem? Because I know it's been a while since you've been dealing with this,
Yeah.
like 16 years, right?
Yeah.
So take us back then as to when you first started noticing that you were having issues.
Right. Okay, you want
And
tell
you
me
just
when.
look at me. Yeah,
So
yeah.
so just start right
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now. We're rolling.
Yep.
Okay. So back, I want to say probably about 17, 18 years ago, I was singing and I was fine. Everything was, I was doing well. And then first, I started to notice a change in my voice, and where I was having issues singing. And then from one day to the next, while I was on stage, it just stopped. And I could not figure out what it was. So then I continued to do a couple of other gigs, concerts that we had. And this guy comes up to me and he says, "Man, I think it just sounds like you just need to rest." Well, I tried to rest, and I didn't seem like that was, helping me out any. Anyhow, so I started going to ENT doctors, and they were starting to say that the issue was on the line of acid reflux. So I was doing the acid reflux thing, your vocal cords are red, they look inflamed, and blah, blah, blah. Started to do that for a while. And I never really even noticed a difference. So I went to another doctor here in San Antonio, and he says, he looked at it, he goes, you have cysts built up on your vocal cords. And it wasn't anything like other people have polyps or whatever, where they get them. Well, this was different, this was, a cyst. So he says, "I'm 99.9% sure." And go in there, he goes, "You're gonna be fine." He goes, "I have to put that 0.9 in there, and his words were, to cover my butt. I said, "Okay, fine." Well, went in there, I had my procedure, I didn't talk like the way I was supposed to, and did everything like I thought I was, supposed to do, but I never recovered. I never recovered from it. I tried, and then everybody would say, "Well, you know what? You got to give it some time. You got to give it some time." Well, if you look from then, fast forward just a little bit. From there, since I wasn't gaining any ground, so I started to do more research. So I said, okay, there's a procedure done that would be done in Houston, and this doctor would get fat from my body, which was from my leg, and he was going to put it on my vocal cords. And I did that, had that done. That did not help me at all. Actually, it set me back. I couldn't really carry a conversation too well because of it, much less, sing. I was singing harmonies, low part harmonies, because I still wasn't able to sing the leads that I was used to. So the low part harmonies was a major task. And I like, gosh, dog, what's happening? I was telling myself, why did I do that? If I had a choice, now that I know, I never would have done that. So time went on, little by little, I noticed that I started to gain some back. Not a lot at all, just some. So I was able to sing harmonies to cover up the imperfections of my vocal cords, you know what I mean? Because it thank God for my brother Mike, because he stepped up, and the way that the sound guy would mix us together, so that I was there enough, but not overbearing. Because if you were to just hear my voice, you would be able to tell this guy's sick or something's wrong with him. So did that for a while, continued to do that. Then every now and then, once or twice a year, for some reason, I would notice I can sing. And those were the days I didn't want to go to sleep, because I knew when I woke up, I wasn't going to be able to sing again. I could not explain it. It almost felt like every time I started to get sick, or I felt like I was going to get sick, that's when I noticed I'm able to sing. And it wasn't all the time, but like I said, once or twice a year, I would notice that. So then I started to think about it, spoke with my brothers, and I said, hey, I think I want to give it one more last attempt. I want to go to the doctor, see what they say. The surgery that I had was in '07. The first surgery was in '07. So, we're looking at all these years. I started to think, well, technology has come a long way since '07. So let's test it. So that's where I got to thinking, I need to go. So I got set up with the ENT doctor, and he looks in there, and this is what he says. Now, mind you, I was already having issues still, with my vocal cords recently. And he says, well, your vocal cords look great. I didn't tell him any history of myself. About what I had done, all these things, never told him. And he says, your vocal cords look good. I said, really? So I sat back. I said, are they pearly white? Well, they look good. So then I sat back, and now I started to unravel to him my history. I didn't want to go to a doctor for me to tell them what's wrong with me. I want them to tell me what's wrong with me. So that was my mentality. So then as I sat there and started to explain, because I also had other tests, pH tests done, manometry done, which measures the amount of swallows, how well your esophagus works to get your food down so it doesn't set here to create acid reflux, to burn your vocal cords. I did a lot of things, a lot of things. So he tells me, he says, well, there's a couple things that I could do. He goes, I could refer you to a place in Nashville, because Nashville's got a lot of singers, or Chicago. And then I said, well, what about San Antonio? He goes, well, there's one here in San Antonio too, which was Dr. Yang. And he's the doctor the surgeon that I went to. So he and I spoke, and he went in there, and he pointed out, without me even saying anything to him, that you have, I think it's called sulcus or something like that, which is scarring on my vocal cords.
You have scarring on your vocal
cords?
cords?
Yeah, scarring on the vocal cords. And when he took pictures, he showed it exactly where it was at. So his suggestion was, we could go in there and we could put a filler, right? Put a filler on there so that we could test the waters, see how that works for you. That'll probably last a month, a little over a month, he says. So once you have that done, and if you like the results from it, then from there, we go back in, we'll wait a month, go back in, and then get, I think it's what the girls use for plumping up their lips.
Oh, okay.
That's what they would put on my
wow.
vocal cords for a permanent solution.
On your vocal cords?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we're waiting now.
Yes.
Wednesday you said you'll find out.
Yeah, Wednesday is going to be my pre-op.
And this surgery was, I know, recent. How long ago was this one?
On the 9th of May. Yeah.
Has this, has this always been, when I was listening, was it almost been like a silent struggle? Did people really know, like in terms of the fans, really know that you were dealing with this?
Now that you mention that, my brother Mike, he told me, you know what? Prior to surgery, he goes, you need to make a video, because people have no idea what you've been going through for all these years. He goes, that way, because they ask for songs all the time. These are the songs that I cannot do. Wow. So, because I've had several songs that, they're hits of Los Desperadoz. They're hits.
Like songs like what they were asking?
Ella, Pa' Todo el Año, Corazonada, Amor Chiquitito, all these songs that people ask for all the time. And I can't. I just say, oh, I haven't sang it in a while. I don't remember the words. So all these years, that's been my cover-up. So now when Mike suggested for me to do that, so I did. Well, that's where we're at today. What brought us here. I believe you saw the video yourself, didn't you?
That's it. I did. Okay, and to me that's a huge step for you. Do you feel in a sense kind of like a little bit relieved now? That your fans know what you've been going through?
I feel
feeling?
Two things, right? Two things. That's four.
Right.
So one thing is, it's a relief. Like you said, I got it out, right? The other thing have a lot of support. I noticed I have a lot of support. Also, a lot of prayers. That was the second major thing. A lot of prayers.
And I saw that, you know, with that video. The other thing that struck me with that video, because it's just how you're tearing up, at the end, you talked about your faith and getting through this. What has, I mean, obviously it's the support, the prayers, things like that. What has carried you through to where you're at to today, going through this tough time?
Well, and it's tough because when somebody doesn't know what you're going through, or they do know what you're going through, and they say, relax, everything's going to be fine, everything's going to be fine. And then whatever, just the little small pieces that people say that is what I carry. It's going to be fine. Then, mind you, there's times where I'll be up on stage and I'm telling myself, why in the heck am I even here? Why am I even here? Yeah, I can play bajo sexto, but why am I here if I can't sing? And I went through that very long time, a very, very long time. So I have a lot of faith that this is going to be it. This is going to be the one. I know of other musicians that are friends of mine that have gone and had procedures, and they're fine, thank God. I'm the only one that hasn't. So this is my turn. This is my time.
Lovely you said that. That's the other thing too, and you kind of tapped into that I want to kind of hit a little bit more. You know, for me, I mean, what I do for a living, I talk, right?
Right.
My voice is part of my job.
Absolutely.
Obviously, that's with you. I can't even imagine, I mean, like, not being able to have that and the struggle of it. I mean, can you kind of maybe give me a little bit more the emotion side of it? I mean, you just kind of said, like, what am I doing here? That must have been really tough for you.
Very tough. And then what would happen is that, because I would complain, why, and I would get mad, and I wanted to, just yell, but I don't want to do that because I've already have damage on my vocal cords. I don't want to cause any more. But then followed by a couple of gigs, like, wow, where did that come from? It picks me right back up. My last gig here in San Antonio was at the Aqueducts. Friday we had played it at Eagle Pass, and I couldn't sing. Saturday was better than Friday. Then Sunday, for some reason, my last gig, I did well. And I ended on a good note. That's how I felt. I ended on a good note until I pick up again.
So was it kind of like was it, you didn't know how it was, it day to day, I guess, or gig to gig?
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Yes, I didn't know. And I would sit there 30 minutes before, just warming up my voice. Just like, you've probably done those too, right?
Yeah.
So all that stuff, just warm-ups. And then I would see other guys that are drinking beer, and they don't even warm up. Bam, they're like, wow, it's impressive. So I was warming up, and then I would say, why? It's not even helping. But like I said, then I would get that one gig to pick me up, or two gigs to pick me up, which helped. It brought me back, my faith. And then, okay, I'll hit some struggles, and then start, get back in the slump. Then all of a sudden, I get picked up again. So that's why you know what? As a matter of fact, years ago, there's a man, and everybody looked up to him, Tony Garza, which is David Lee Garza's Los Musicales, their dad. And he had said something about bands being up here or down here. He says, you never want to be here, you never want to be here. Just stay right in the middle and keep on going. You'll last longer. And that's exactly what we've been doing, just staying right here. And by the grace of God, the Desperadoz are here after, 36 years? And we're still going. Every week, thank you, Jesus.
Yeah. And like what we were talking about, I mean, just the fact that you're still carrying on the Villarreal family
Right.
for so long for your grandfathers.
Right.
Like, that must be special too.
Well, it is. It is. My grandfather, back in the days, their band was called the Polka Kings, right? They were also called Los 185 Hermanos Villarreal. Where that name came from, I don't know.
That's a long name. Say that
So
5 times.
they had played for Eisenhower at the Joe and Harry Freeman Coliseum back in the days. So he passed on his music to my dad and his sisters too. So then my dad was never taught how to play the accordion. He was self-taught. And everything that he learned here, he would put it on his fingers because he was listening to polkas that his dad played, my grandfather. So, and he was one, when we would ask, Dad, can you show me how to play a polka? And he goes, yeah, I can show you. And then he says, well, which one? I don't know that one, well, which one? And then he says, I need for you to hum it to me. And I was like, oh, shoots. You know what I mean? Hum it? Because I was embarrassed to do that. He goes, well, because if I know that you know which one it is, that means you know it here. And then if you know it here and you're putting it here, then I can help you put it here. And then, so then I said, well, what do you mean? And then he would say, just go, so he goes, there you go. Now I know you have it here. You did it here. Now let me show you how it goes. Wow. That's how we would learn.
Wow.
That's how we would learn. Then he taught us how to play. What he did, he had a guitar, took the strings off of it, and only put 4 strings to mimic a bajo sexto. That's how I learned. My brother learned the same way. That's how we would do it.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Wow. That's really cool. What do you see, I mean, the future for you? Where do you see that?
Well, I am going to come out ahead. And I'm going to record. And I'm going to re-record some of the stuff that I did in the past. I'm excited about that.
Is there a challenge? You want to sing that one song? Do you want to be able to get to that point?
There's all of those songs that I mentioned earlier are all the ones that I want to sing. Those are the ones that I want to sing. I'm looking forward to it.
First concert, when do you think it'll be? Do you want to put that date out there? You want to wait?
Well, I'll wait for after Wednesday, see what the doctor says, and then from there we'll go.
Yeah. And like we were talking about, I mean, regardless, I mean, with you kind of being out, I mean, Mike and the rest of it, I mean, they're still at it right now.
Well, what happened is we have a real good friend of ours. He's family to us. And his name is Mario Gonzalez, and he's multi-talented. He could play bass, bajo sexto, drums. So we've used him several times. Whenever my brother has had surgery on the drums, he played drums. Or just been out on the bass, he'll play bass. And then with me as well. So it's worked out really well. So thank you, Mario.
Thanks, Mario. 2 last things for me. What would be throughout all of this time? I mean, it's pretty much been a lot of years that you've been dealing with this.
Yeah.
What do you think this has taught you?
Well, patience, because that's a lot of patience. And if you look at it from 16 years ago to now, I could have given up at any time. And I didn't. So I'm still here. So if that's what it taught me, and anybody that's out there watching this, it could teach you the same thing. Patience.
Don't give up.
That's right. Do not give up.
What's your message? What do you want the people to know, to your fans, really to anyone who would watch this? And it could be anything. What would be something that you would want them to know?
What I want to say is, regardless of the turnout, regardless at the end turnout, whether I can sing the way I did before or whether I cannot, the love that I have for my fans, my family, I can't even express how much love that I have for everybody because of that. Because there was a lot of comments, blessings, prayers going your way, and I certainly can appreciate that to the fullest.